All In Sports Network. We love sports.
Welcome back to All In Mizzou. Today, it's Tuesday. We're rewatching Missouri's offense versus Alabama and Missouri's 27-24 loss at home to the Crimson Tide last Saturday. I rewatched it this morning, and it's the first time all year we rewatch every game, but the first time all year it's been a loss, and it was equally frustrating to go back and rewatch this game because it was so winnable. It was so winnable, and they just let it slip away. The offense had plenty of opportunities to take the lead in the fourth quarter and didn't really show up until they were down by 10 in the fourth quarter. I don't know. I'll go through some of just my notes that I have, and then we'll look at some of the poor throws that Bo Prabula made and see what happened on some of these. We'll go to the whiteboard. I got some stats up on the whiteboard. I'll talk about them in a second. Actually, let's do that now. I'll talk about my stats now. If you can see this, I'll bring it closer. 27-24, Bo Prabula was 16 of 24 with 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He also had 11 carries for 161 yards and a touchdown. He was the highest rusher of the game for Missouri. Ahmad Hardy, just 12 carries for 52 yards. Jamal Roberts had 5 carries for 50 yards. He also had 3 catches for 27 yards. You have to get Hardy more involved. You have to get him more touches. I don't know. The run game wasn't working like it typically does, maybe. But there's got to be a way to get him more than 12 touches. You have to. Donovan Olubide was the leading receiver. I think there's no reason in the world that this guy should not be playing more downs than he is right now. He had 3 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown, which all came on one drive in the fourth quarter, a drive where they needed to move down the field and get a touchdown quickly. He had 1 catch. No, actually, he had 2 on the first big drive of the fourth quarter. A long catch that set Missouri up at like the 4-yard line, and then he caught a touchdown from there. So that's 2 catches. And then he had 1 on the following drive. Missouri needed – it was a 4th and 10, and Bo Prabula kind of threw him a fade to the sideline. Olubide went up and caught it. He has to be playing more. He's the only guy on Missouri's receiving core, really, this game that got open and made himself a threat. Kevin Coleman Jr. only 1 catch. Marquise Johnson, which, Bo Prabula missed him a little bit, but he had only 3 catches. Brett Norfleet, 3 catches, 38 yards, a touchdown. Just not enough from your playmakers at all. I mean, not enough at all. Missouri was outgained 326-325, really close. On paper, this game is close. That's why it's so frustrating. Missouri passed the ball 28 times and ran the ball 28 times. They passed for 162 yards. They ran for 163 yards, so really even attack offensively. And then they were 1 of 11 on third down, which is the reason they lost this game, at least one of them. They came into this game ranked number 1 in the country in third down percentage on offense. So that's a big, big reason why Missouri wasn't able to get anything going offensively. I'll go through my notes from the rewatch. I rewatched it, and the first drive was as great as I remembered. Missouri pounded the ball. They ran it. They ran it, I think 5 plays in a row. 2 to Hardy, 3 to Bo. 2 of Bo's were design quarterback runs. Missouri did that more today. Not today. Missouri did that more on Saturday, giving Bo some more designed opportunities to run the ball. And it worked. You saw him with a couple huge runs, a couple big scrambles. He had the touchdown on the read option there in the third quarter. That worked. I want to see that more. but that doesn't mean take away opportunities from Ahmad Hardy, who ran the ball pretty well when he got it. It wasn't one of his more prolific days, but he touched it 12 times, averaged 4.3 yards per carry. That's not bad at all. He also had 2 catches for 2 yards. You just have to get him more opportunity. And I don't know. You just weren't able to control the game. And I think that's why they didn't want to run the ball as much. Too Hardy as they probably should have, but there you go. The first drive, it worked, man. Hardy had 2 runs, and then Bo had 3. Then it's a play action to Brett Norfleet for a touchdown. Just an outstanding drive. I thought Missouri's offense was going to dominate after that drive because it didn't. It's not like it did anything crazy. It wasn't like a crazy scripted drive. It was just they ran an outside zone. They ran a counter, 2 run plays that we've seen a lot. They ran a read option. They ran a quarterback draw. Like, this isn't crazy stuff. And then they just a play action to their tight end for a touchdown. Like, I didn't think it was going to be one of those things where you have a really nice scripted drive and then fall off the face of the earth for the rest of the game. But that is what happened for Missouri's offense somehow. They go up 7-0. The defense almost gets them the ball back pretty quickly, and then but they don't. It's 7-7, and Missouri starts to really struggle here. 2 straight runs on the second drive, and then you have a play where Bo Perbula rolls out to the right on 3rd down, and my goodness, he missed Marquise Johnson, who was all by himself down the right sideline. Bo Perbula didn't even throw it in bounds, threw it out of bounds. It seemed like he and Marquise Johnson were not on the same page at all, at any point all day. And that came back to hurt this team a couple times. But that play in particular where he rolled right, nobody was even looking at Marquise Johnson. You don't even have to lead him. If you just give him the ball, it's a 20 to 25-yard pickup. If you just give him the ball and he falls down, it's fine. But if you are able to lead him in, it's probably a touchdown. I mean, he's just wide open. So you punt after that. And I think at that point, let me check the drive chart. Excuse me. But Alabama goes down and scores a touchdown to take the lead. So it's 14-7. Missouri gets the ball back. On the first play of this drive, they ran an outside zone to the short side of the field. So they had the ball on the right hash, and they ran that outside zone run that we've talked about a lot on this show. They ran it to the right, to the short side of the field, which, I'm not a football coach, and I wasn't a running back. I wasn't an offensive lineman. I don't know. Frankly, I wasn't anything. I didn't play football in high school. But on this outside zone, hey, by the way, I was a tight end in junior high and caught a touchdown pass. So I was also a defensive end and linebacker, kind of a hybrid type of guy, Micah Parsons-ish on my 7th grade team. So I know ball. Anyway, Ahmad Hardy, they give him. So basically, for me, at least in my brain, it would make more sense to run this play to the long side of the field because this play takes up space. You have all 5 of your offensive linemen shifting to one side, running to one sideline, blocking zones, allowing for Hardy to choose where he wants to go. And when you run it to the short side, there's just less space. So he picks up 1 yard there. Bo Perbula is able to, I think he scrambles here for 8 yards. They get Hardy going a little bit. But the drive ends with a sack, and Missouri punts again. Big stand by the defense. They hold Alabama to a field goal. Missouri gets the ball back, and guess what? It's a 3-and-out again. They ran the ball twice. Drinkwitz did mention this in his presser. They have to not be afraid to throw on first down. I wanted them to run the ball more in this game, but I think I agree that you have to be able to mix it up. They ran the ball a lot on first down, and that kind of got them behind the sticks because Alabama's defense, while it isn't a great run defense, it knew that that was coming and it was able to kind of gear up for it. So there you go. Let's see, where are we? All right, so they punted again. Golly, I'm still kind of stuffed up. I was sick last week. My allergies are still going. So the next drive for Missouri, it's the end of the half. They go get a field goal. There you go. I like what they did on the first drive of the second half. Alabama fumbles. Missouri gets the ball in really good field position. 3 plays, easy touchdown. Okay, tie game. You force an Alabama punt. This is one of the opportunities where it's tied. You have the ball. You just forced Alabama to punt. Okay, let's go score and take the lead. They don't. They go 3 and out. They run the ball for 2 yards on first down. Oh, they don't go 3 and out. What? This drive chart is wrong. It says Missouri punted on 2nd and 10, but that anyway. They punt. Bama gets a field goal. All right, fourth quarter is where things get rough here for Missouri. The first drive of the quarter is the interception, the first interception to Bo Prabula throws. This is one of the plays we'll talk about. There was another play where he threw an almost interception. We'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about his third interception. But this is the first interception of the day. It just looks like a miscommunication between him and Kevin Coleman Jr. We'll talk about it. But Missouri is down 20-17 at this point. Again, another opportunity to go drive down the field, score a touchdown, take the lead, have control of this game in the fourth quarter. They don't. They throw a pick. The defense stands up, forces a missed field goal. Missouri gets the ball back again with a chance. Again, you just have to take advantage of this. Missouri didn't take advantage of it in the fourth quarter until it was too late. They had a chance to go down, take the lead. They're only down by 3. Go take the lead. They don't. They run a fake punt on 4th and 4. Look, I am biased, but I think that was a first down. If you look at, so he stays in bounds and he's going out of bounds. When his foot hits the ground, right before his foot hits the ground, you can see the shadow of him over the first down marker. I think it's a first down. I think it was a horrible spot on the field, and that made it hard to overturn. But I think that spot that they gave him was atrocious and probably cost him that review. Again, though, I mean, I don't know if I would have done that, especially just because your defense, had been holding up pretty well. They forced a missed field goal. They forced a punt on the 2 previous, it was a field goal and a missed field goal on the 2 previous drives. Now you fake it, you put them in really good field position, and they go score to go up 10. I think I would have punted there. I don't hate the aggressiveness there, but I am not sure that was the time for it. I don't know. But down by 10, now finally Missouri's offense wakes up. Bo Prabula and Donovan Olubide start connecting. They go down the field, score a touchdown. Missouri's defense does its job. Missouri has 3 timeouts at this point. Less than 2 minutes left. They get a 3 and out. Here's my problem. After the touchdown where you cut the deficit to 3, Missouri chooses to onside kick it when I disagree with this. There's a minute 40 left in the game. You have all 3 of your timeouts. You're surrendering, 50 40 yards of field position. Either way, here's the deal. Either way, your defense to win this game is going to have to get a stop. They're going to have to get a 3-and-out here. So either way, even if you do an outside kick and don't get it, which happens most of the time, or if you kick it downfield, it's not like I don't think the odds of recovering the onside kick were large enough for that sort of risk. Now so the defense gets its 3-and-out stop like it had to get either way. And now you're just in bad field position. You got to go the whole field to get 3 points. I think if you kick down the field, say it's a touchback, start at the 25, Missouri, allowed 0 yards on that drive. So instead of, a punt that pins Missouri, it's a punt to the 35-yard where you're starting on your own 35 instead of your own 15 or whatever. I just think, I don't know. I don't like that decision at all. They were gutsy on special teams with that and the fake punt. If one of them works, you probably win the game. There's at least a better chance, but none of them work. You get the 3-and-out, and Bo throws a pick to end the game. We'll talk about that in a second, but very, very painful to rewatch because it was just such a winnable football game. It's a game that you should win if you think you're a serious program. These big games against big opponents, you should win those. Again, it's not a bad loss. It's Alabama, a very good Alabama team. But it's a game you should have won. And, that's tough to overcome for sure. All right, I'm going to take a look at a few of these throws Bo Prabula missed. And we'll just have a look at them on the whiteboard, and then I'll talk about some PFF stuff, and then we'll get out of here. All right, I'll be right back. All right, here's our first play we're going to look at.